So stanza by stanza, I just had to break it down with a quick summary. It fell about the Martinmas time, in a gay time it was then. I had a PowerPoint of helpful hints for you with some words from the medieval period that you might not know. Martinmas was one of them, and it tells us it's November 11th, the feast of St. Martin. So all you need to know from those first two lines is it was November, when our good wife got puddings to make, and she's boiled them in the pan. So really, even we don't need to do a line-by-line translation here. All we could write for that first stanza is, it was November, the wife was busy cooking. That's the important part about that stanza. So you would just write that on the other side of the page here. The wind was cold, it blew south and north, and blew into the floor. Quote, our good man to our good wife, go out and bar the door. So it is November out. We know it's going to be cold. Why would the wind be blowing throughout their house? Well, it's clear based on what the husband says, we figure that out. He tells the wife, the good man to the good wife, go and bar the door, which simply means to shut the door. So someone's left the door open, and the husband asks the wife, hey, go shut the door. It's cold, the wind's blowing. He wants her to shut it. She replies, my hand is in my hussif's cap, good man as you may see, and it should not be barred this 100 year. It's not be barred for me. So another word from those helpful hints was hussif's cap, which there's no way you would know what that is. It's an oven mitt. So she literally says, I have oven mitts on my hands. That's how much I'm in the middle of cooking right now. You could wait 100 years. I'm not going to be the one to shut that door. So not only does she tell him no, but she kind of gives him a sassy or a smart response there of, you could wait 100 years, honey. I'm not the one who will be shutting that door. I'm busy. You can shut it. They made a paction between them two. They made it firm and sure that the first word whoever should speak should rise and bar the door. So they make an agreement. Instead of just being the bigger person and someone getting up and shutting the door, they take this to an extreme level. And so they make an agreement between them. And they decide that whoever says the first word should be the one to shut the door. So basically, they're playing the quiet game. They're going to sit in silence, and whoever talks first will be the one to have to shut the door. So again, that's what you want to be writing on the other side of the paper, like a SparkNote summary or a cheat sheet version of this poem that you can use on the test. Then by there came two gentlemen at 12 o'clock at night. What kinds of gentlemen are walking the streets, prowling the streets at midnight? These are not really gentlemen. These are going to be thieves, robbers, hooligans, looking for trouble to get into. And they could neither see house nor hall, nor cool nor candlelight. So they walk by the husband and wife's house, and they see that the door is open and all the lights are off. They can't even keep a candle lit because the wind is blowing. So it looks like no one is home. These robbers are probably thinking, this is a perfect house to rob. So they walk right in to the house, and they ask them, is this a rich man's house or whether it is a poor? So they straight up ask the husband and wife, are you guys rich or poor? We're going to rob you either way. We just want to know how much stuff you have. But never a word would either of them speak for barring of the door. So what do the husband and wife say, even as these two strangers enter their house and say, are you rich or poor? We're going to take your stuff. Nothing. They still don't talk because they don't want to have to shut the door. So they're still playing the quiet game. And first they ate the white puddings, and then they ate the black. So this is referring to the two gentlemen, the two robbers. They're eating all of the husband and wife's food. So she spent all day making the puddings. They're eating that. They're taking their stuff. Though many thought the good wife to herself, never a word she spake. So the wife, I'm sure, has a lot of thoughts she'd like to say, but she still doesn't talk because she doesn't want to have to shut the door. Then said the one and to the other, here, man, take you my knife. Do you take off the old man's beard, and I'll kiss the good wife. So the one robber says to the other, here, take my knife. Why don't we take off the old man's beard and kiss the wife? So these are both probably euphemisms for something much more sinister. They're going to take off the old man's beard. They're going to kill him. They'll slit his throat, and kiss the good wife is probably also code for something much worse. So they are going to need to shave him. He's got a big burly beard on him, so they'll need water to do that before they kill him. And so the second robber says, but there's not water in the house. What shall we do then? What about the pudding water that boils in the pan? So what do they decide to use to shave him? The boiling hot pudding water. So they're going to scald him with boiling water, shave his beard, slit his throat, and take his wife. Oh, up then started our good man, an angry man was he. Will you kiss my wife before my eyes and scald me with the pudding brie, which is the pudding water? So finally, the husband does something. He stands up for himself. He's angry. He gets right in their face and says, you think that you're going to kiss my wife and kill me and I'm just going to sit here and do nothing about it? How dare you, basically. So he finally stands up for himself and his woman. And then up and started our good wife, went 3 skips on the floor. Good man, you've spoken the foremost word. Get up and bar the door. So what does the wife say in response to her husband standing up for them? Ha, you talk first, now you have to go and shut the door. And that's the end of the whole poem. We don't know what happens to them, but that's not really the point. The point is that this couple was so stubborn that they couldn't do a simple task, and that when even these horrible things, this sudden disaster happens to them, in the end, the wife is still concerned with playing the game and says, ha, you talk first, now you have to go and shut the door. So again, it is super, super important that you get those background notes on ballads. I'm telling you that on a test, I would ask you an essay question of, looking at this ballad, how does it fit those characteristics? So is it about the life of the common folk? It has a tragic theme, sudden disaster. It uses the literary devices of a narrative and a refrain, and it's musical in nature. You could even hear as I was reading the sing-songy quality to it. So get those down, keep those things in mind, and you will be good for your test. Let me know if you have any questions. That is all. Bye.